Hello, and welcome to Glasgow Caledonian University. I'm Dr. Rosalind Parr, and I'm delighted to be the Deputy Programme Leader of our exciting and innovative MSc in Human Rights. Over the course of this presentation, I'll introduce you to the programme structure and in the process demonstrate, I hope, why the MSc in Human Rights is such a popular choice for students interested in pursuing careers in human rights policy and practice. Now, the MSc in Human Rights is one of several highly regarded postgraduate programmes taught at the Glasgow School for Business and Society, which is part of 3 schools that make up Glasgow Caledonian University. Within the Glasgow School for Business and Society, the MSc in Human Rights sits in the Department of Social Sciences, which means that the programme specifically applies social science knowledge and analytical approaches to the study of human rights. This reflects our departmental expertise in sociology, social policy, politics, and history. So the Human Rights MSc can be pursued as either a 1- or a 2-year course. The 1-year programme consists of 8 modules and a master's research project or dissertation, plus, as we'll see, an additional leadership module. The 2-year programme is the same. This is the Human Rights with Professional Practice programme. It's the same, but students additionally take on a 2nd year, which is a professional practice placement. The structure of the Human Rights Master's programme looks like this. It takes a cross-disciplinary social science approach to develop student knowledge of human rights policy, practice, and international human rights frameworks. Our curriculum builds knowledge of how human rights are inhibited and realised in local and international contexts, and it promotes understanding of how social science knowledge in human rights can be used to eliminate poverty and other forms of inequality. So next, we will just look at the content of the programme in a bit more detail. Our academic year at GCU is divided into trimesters A, B, and C. And all students will complete 4 modules, each worth 15 credits. I'll just go back to this slide here to give you the overview. So trimesters A and B, students will take 4 modules each, and in trimester C, undertake a master's research project, which is a dissertation, alongside the 15 credit developing leadership for the common good. And as I've mentioned, in the 2nd year, if you are pursuing the MSc in Human Rights and Professional Practice, you would do a professional placement in the 2nd year. So moving on to look a bit more deeply at the curriculum, at the individual modules that that make up the programme. Together, they build knowledge and critical skills in human rights and practice, policy and practice. In trimester A, these are the modules that students take. The Realising Rights in Practice core module examines policy framing, policy problems and knowledge construction with a view to the realisation of human rights in different contexts. The Transformative Social Science critically explores the possibilities of research-led social science, which is the expertise of our field, of our department, to transform the world for the common good. And you will hear this phrase a lot, the common good, at GCU, because GCU is the university of the common good. So this module also seeks to understand how theory, the theory that we use as academics, can help frame practical and transformative social action in the field of human rights. A third module that is undertaken in trimester A is Poverty, Rights and Citizenship, which examines the relationship between human rights and poverty and evaluates measures for addressing poverty and that underpin human rights. The fourth module in trimester A is Ethics, Sustainability and Governance. And this explores ethical governance and responsible leadership in private, public and social enterprise sectors, both in the UK and globally. And then it equips students to drive responsible decision making as leaders. In trimester B, these are the 4 modules that students would take. So public policy analysis applies theoretical and conceptual approaches to engage in real-time policy analysis. We have a second module, social movements for activism and activism for change, which explores social movements for the movements that are promoting the realization of human rights. And there are lots of topics involved in this module, including gender equality, climate change, environmental justice, racism, development, access to water, and others. The module Politics and Practice of Global Justice examines current global challenges in human rights and inequalities, global inequalities. And we look at topics including human trafficking, human security, climate justice, gender justice, migration, and gender-based violence. And then finally, in trimester B, students would undertake a module on postgraduate research methods, and this is to help students prepare for their master's research project in trimester C. That's the dissertation. And in this project, in this module, students would explore the key theoretical and methodological issues, research approaches, and develop communication skills and ethical knowledge in preparation for the master's research project. So the master's research project takes place in trimester C. This is a big, independent and in-depth research project of 12,000 words. And students are expected to work independently under the guidance of a supervisor. And then alongside this, the students will undertake a project, a module in developing leadership for the common good. And this is a practical module that explores leadership theories and techniques. So the knowledge and skills of our postgraduate students on this MSc programme are assessed in a number of different ways. And these enable students to develop as critical thinkers, excellent communicators, and effective leaders. So the assessment strategy allows for the exploration of ideas, in-depth critical analysis, and the reflection on practice, and the consideration of alternatives in human rights policy. So this is a thing that we are encouraging students to develop. There's a mix of assessment methods. So we see case studies, policy reviews, embedded research, presentations, and the use of IT for communication and engagement. And through this, we build skills in conceptual thinking, arguments, and the assimilation of complex material. And this is the sort of thing that students will communicate in formal essays and also exams. And this very much supports the development of knowledge and skills. And these are relevant to potential employers and also relevant to future research, if that is a path that students wish to take. So this here is an overview of the assessments that students will take on our programme. And here you can see that there are a number of different approaches taken, so essays, case studies, reviews, in the case of public policy analysis, an unseen exam. So there are a number of factors that make our programme innovative and unique. And this starts with the university's values as an institution. GCU is, as I've said, the University of the Common Good. So our curriculum represents a distinct approach to learning and teaching that develops graduates that are capable of tackling real-world issues and translating problem-solving ideas into action. And this very much, we believe, develops attributes that are needed to make a positive difference and to address societal challenges at local, national, and global levels. And on our particular programme on the MSc in Human Rights, our programme and our assessments are dedicated to building student knowledge and the application of that knowledge through discussion, investigation, and collaboration. There's very much an emphasis on critical engagement with theoretical conceptual frameworks, those academic frameworks that I was talking about earlier, and also exploring lived experiences and norms that shape society and institutional responses to societal challenges. So in addition, then students on the master's programme at GCU will be taught by leading scholars in their field, who themselves produce world-leading research in their areas of specialism. And beyond the classroom, postgraduate students at GCU benefit from being part of a supportive learning environment that is dedicated both to enrichment and to well-being. And you'll see here some of the services that are on offer for students at GCU. So after spending either 1 or 2 years as a postgraduate student on the Human Rights programme at GCU, those students can look forward to a positive and fulfilling future, because our MSc programme in Human Rights prepares students for leadership in a variety of organisational settings. So students may go on to become leaders in non-governmental organisations, in international organisations, in government, in civil service, in research. And our students do go on to work in all sorts of areas along these lines. So I just want to summarise now. So our Human Rights MSc can be pursued as either a 1 or 2 year programme. Each of those programmes includes 8 content modules, which I've outlined already, plus a master's research project and a leadership skills module. And as I've mentioned, there is the professional practice placement for the 2-year programme. This programme, this curriculum, very much reflects the ethos of the common good, and it's taught by leading researchers in the field. And this programme is dedicated to building knowledge and skills for employability or for further research. And thank you for listening. We hope to see you in Glasgow soon. Thank you very much.